I'm seeing some patterns. We're just going to get straight into it. I'm seeing some patterns. One pattern on sales, lead acquisition. That's going to be a consistent thing until you guys basically all have the clients you want. And particularly driving online lead acquisition without having a face-to-face gym. We're going to get a little bit more tangible into that today. I think I want to start with the challenge of growing an online business and how to make it more effortless, while also acknowledging that it definitely takes time and patience to have strangers give you money. So there are two people in this group that I think can speak on a level of experience in a way that is more relatable compared to me, because I'm, further along in my journey. And Nathan and Jacob. Nathan, if you don't mind going first, can you please explain to the group how, because we were talking about this over DM, how effective your strategy of ads and outbound DM has been, and your nurturing sequence that you do to start a conversation and then eventually have someone jump on a call with you or, sign.
Yeah, bro. So I do like a sell by chat. So basically I've got an ad set up at the moment. It's $6 a day. So it's not really much at all. It's like the price of a coffee. That usually brings in followers for around 50 cents. And then I message every single person that follows me and say, hey, thanks for following me. Are you here for the content, or are you here to optimize your gut health and hormones? And then they'll give you one or two questions or answers, and then that's the way you navigate your questions. So when they tell you, obviously I'm here to optimize gut health and hormones, you can lead it down the conversation of how you can help them. If they're there for content, you can say, okay, what do you want to see more of? So I can help make content to help solve your problem. And then they're like, oh, okay, you want to help me. And then that sometimes navigates onto a call as well. So it's like both roads sort of lead to where you want to go to.
And how many times have you done that? Meaning outreached from a new follower? Yeah.
Probably like 2,500 maybe, 2,500.
Damn.
And so every single person that follows me.
And for clarity, how many clients do you have?
At the moment, I have five like that are working with me at the moment.
Okay. And out of those, because we should clean up that process. Out of those 2,500,
yeah.
Since you've been doing the yes or no question to start with, which is a great question to ask with, and I'll explain why in a second. Do you know your conversion percentage?
I don't know the exact percentage. What I want to do is I want to open up because I only have high ticket coaching. So it's hard to build that, bridge that gap between trusting someone quickly. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got it. Just my video.
Yeah, sweet. So, I've only got a high ticket 16-week coaching at the moment. So I want to open up make a fit community with all my resource collections, and then they can have workouts and stuff in there and sort of take them on a self-led journey and have all the content sort of like Trinity is, ZION is to Trinity, and have people do it yourself, and then pick themselves to then go take that step further and work with you one-on-one. So that's where I'm sort of at the moment, wanting to open up a sort of another sector.
And thank you for that, Nathan. How many calls do you think you've gotten on from DMs, just roughly?
DMs, maybe 40 or 50 odd over the last 18 months.
Really?
Yeah, not many. That's the thing.
40 or 50?
Give too much. Yeah.
That brother, that's a very good amount. If you had 50% conversion, you have 20. If you have 50% conversion, you got 25 new clients.
Yeah. But the thing is with that is because I do once-off blood work analysis as well. So that conversation is what do you want to work with me, or how do you want to work with me? So that's where it's when I get on the call, if they're not in it for that 16 weeks and they just want to get blood work done, then there's been a lot of one-offs that get done. And I find with males, they love DIY because they're I just want to do everything myself. So it's hard to, That's why I want to open up that sort of free, or not free, but the cheaper sort of way to work with me. because the men love DIY.
Men love DIY. Okay, well, not to spend too long belief shifting this.
Oh, look.
If you have a belief in an audience and a market, you need to create content around that belief shifting. For example,
Yeah.
Trinity and all of this. I believe, and this is not just to sell some shit, I truly believe, before I even knew Trinity existed, that because I lived it, that to be a health professional and coach, that training and nutrition wasn't enough. It was like in me. I was like, fuck, this can't be it. And so I made content, and I make content that's thought-provoking and emotion-evoking around that to shift people's beliefs who don't currently have that. So before someone could buy from you, they need to have a certain chain of beliefs that are aligned with your brand and your vision. So one exercise you can do, Nathan and everybody else, is, and Carl Goodman, one of my first business mentors, really helped me understand this, is you want to write down what beliefs does your audience need to have to work with you, as my camera capitulates. What beliefs does your audience need to have? And then, so one piece of content you could make, Nathan, and some of you could make around your audience is, here's why doing it alone is XYZ. And then in the onboarding process, in the actual process of like the pre-sale and the onboarding, that's when you're sending them that content without having to tell them on the phone, brother, like no men do it alone. Instead, you do it in more of a softer kind of non-direct way through a piece of content.
Yeah.
So I want you to write down on your task list that very thing, and anybody else who that comes to mind with, write that down on your action list as well. I have two cameras in, and this is what. Okay. So, Jacob, you've gone pretty hard on online as well. Can you speak on your strategy that's been the most effective for you to starting conversations, getting on calls, and getting online clients?
Yeah, very, very similar to Nathan. I've seen the most amount of success when I've actually done like a little bit of outreach, outbound, whether it's cold or even hot. So as soon as someone follows me, like I'll reach out to them and message them. Very similar to Nathan. I'll also, if people react to my stories, or I also look who views my stories. If people are constantly viewing my stories, I'll even reach out to them. Again, it's not as warm as someone who engages with it, but it's still worked for me. I've noticed that a lot of people are always waiting for like the perfect time, and if you can just shorten that time just by reaching out to them and starting that conversation. Last week I think I signed 4 people just from starting the conversation, just because I'd seen that they'd been interacting. And if I didn't send that message, I wouldn't have signed 4 people.
And then how did you take them from that conversation all the way to, a quote unquote sale?
Yeah. So I view the conversation as me trying to help them in any way. I'm not trying to, it's not for me. The conversation isn't for me to sign them. It's for me to actually genuinely help them. So I have the solution to their problems, if that makes sense, or their challenges and obstacles. The goal ultimately, like I'd be lying if I said the goal wasn't to sign them, but that's not the main focus. The main focus is to give them as much value as possible. And if I can ultimately help them further, which is coaching, then I try and get them on a call. And then that's where you can dive a little bit deeper into their whys and how you have the solution to their obstacle.
Okay. Thank you for that. And one reason I'm bringing this up is because I've seen it as a consistent theme. And if you hadn't already realized, Sage, I noticed this to be a thread for you, an obstacle for you. So reflecting on that, what do you think about what the two boys said there, and have you engaged in, what's your experience been in a strategy of like what they're saying?
Yeah, I've done it like probably 5 times, which is not many, but it's definitely worked, even though I've only done it a few times.
Really?
And I've had a previous business coach say that I needed to do the same thing and just like a crazy amount of volume. And I guess, yeah, I never followed through with it. I guess sometimes it feels a bit like yuck, I guess, to reach out to people like a cold DM. But yeah, I think like when you are probably like reaching out with that genuine intention to actually help them, it feels a little bit less yuck. But yeah, I think I need to definitely do a lot more of that.
Look, I can definitely acknowledge that like sticky feeling that sometimes some of you might feel. And I think where a lot of coaches and business mentors and coaches kind of miss the mark is not understanding your belief and your emotional relationship around that. Because I don't understand, because it takes time to understand what that means for you. But if I can just quickly reframe it, well, actually, I can do it very easily. Sage, do I have permission to share our first Instagram conversation in DMs?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Do you know that you might not be here if I didn't reach out to you like this?
Yeah, literally, so true.
And I saw a coach follow me and I thought, oh, cool. Another, coach followed me. Let me see. Okay, so let me share my screen and I'll walk you through the process. This is a live example for you guys. And this is taking from, like, Sage is here. Like, so this is from a DM to, Sage receiving some support from me and ultimately buying something that she wanted to buy. Okay, so let me share my tab. All right, so step one. So this, Nathan, you asked the same question here, right? Which was insightful. So when you're doing cold, not cold, it's actually warm, semi, because they followed you, right? Now, I used to ask different questions, and one of them I used to ask was, hey, if there's anything you need, if there's any help you need, on nutrition, on functional health, on gut health, blah, 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 just let me know. I'm here. The door's open, right? Now, the problem with that question is it only services the people, not even a question, it's a statement. And it only services the people who are really, they have something top of mind that they're wanting support on. But a lot of people are not ready to tell you their life story and their deeper problems off a DM, off the first message. So you want to start off with a question. Okay, so what are we doing here? Every single person in this group, if you would like to impact and connect with more people, I don't even have to fucking talk about selling shit. I just mean when I'm voyeur, Kiet. This is a 17-year-old kid who I'm talking to, right? Brother can't buy nothing for me right now because he's supporting his mother. He's finishing high school. He's struggling to pay rent. And I'm talking to Kiet. I'm voice messaging him. I'm like, brother, here's my number. Like, let's talk. And I'm just trying to help him. Now, I believe in Kiet. I think he's got something in the future that maybe I can support him with. I intuitively feel called to help him, right? But right now, there's nothing that he can buy from me because he can't afford it. Okay. Instagram doesn't like me showing Kiet. Sorry, guys. Let me go back to Sage. Message. Oh, sorry. I see your consistency. I like it. In the last week, at least. Bang, 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 bang. Let's go back up. You can just take my system right here. So someone messages you within the first 4 to 12 hours, outreach, DM. Hey, I speak in your language, in your tone, whatever's natural to you. I want to know, I've replaced this. Here for content, or are you looking to grow your business and skill set? Some people say content, and then I'll show you where to go from there. But this is what Sage said. I had a quick look at your page last night before heading to bed, but I feel like Trinity is exactly the kind of thing I'm looking for. I'm wanting to upskill in functional health. Okay, so you don't usually get a comment like this, right? But I've positioned myself obviously really well. Sage, for some insight, what made you say this? Because this is quite, I would say, assertive and like you kind of know what you wanted. What gave you this impression that what I created was something you wanted?
Probably because it's been in the front of my mind for probably like the last year that I've been looking for a course, I guess, exactly like that. And I'd looked into other ones like the Institute of Health course and stuff like that, but it was just a bit out of reach in terms of like budget and stuff like that. So yeah, I guess it's been something that I've been looking for ages, but I hadn't been able to find it.
Yeah.
So yeah. And then you messaged and I was like, oh, it all just kind of aligned.
Oh. So maybe there are other people out there who feel like maybe what you have to offer and who you are is what they're looking for. But it wasn't until I reached out, Sage, that stimulated that, right?
Yeah.
So whenever you're thinking some apprehension around reaching out, maybe you can think about yourself.
So true.
And that's what you required. So, but I want to know more specifically, why did you feel this sentence? How did you know that? What about my content and what I was putting out there?
Yeah, I guess it was very like personal. The fact that like you're running it, it's not just like some big company like IOH and uni and stuff like that. Like you've been there, you have that lived experience, and like you've created this because you see that like gap in the market. And yeah, I guess like the business side of things and then also the holistic health side of things like is exactly what I've been looking for. So
what was the piece of content that you think created most of that curiosity or interest?
I can't really pinpoint one piece of content, probably just like all of it as a whole. Like I can't really I can't think of one thing that I was like, wow, yeah, like that's definitely it.
And how much content did you view, or how long were you following me before you felt like, yeah, this might be something I really want to do?
It was such a short time frame, honestly, probably like, I think I like had a look at your page and in like 5 minutes, I was like, yeah, like this looks good. I want to do this.
So would you describe it as like more of a feeling?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Heard that many times. You guys might think, well, how does that relate to me? Because you need to be yourself. And if you're not yourself, then people can intuitively feel something's off and they won't be able to describe it. And with your content, one of the best pieces of advice I can give you guys to stand out is not some strategy and hook and perfect sequence of words to say. It's giving yourself the permission to allow the silliness of your character and just who you are as a person. It might be serious, it might be this, it might be that, just allowing that to come out. So let's continue on this conversation from here. So typically a person would give, they wouldn't necessarily say such a assertive, warm response. And if they say something with their business and skill set, you'll follow up, you'll ask questions, not ad nauseum, but within about 10 to 15 messages back and forth, we should be getting to the point, you should be writing this down, by the way, we should be getting to the point where we can send them something. Now, I don't typically recommend a form, but for Trinity, it's a different experience. What I would recommend is you get their WhatsApp number. Now, I sent her a form, she filled it in, and then I started a conversation over WhatsApp. But before she actually even bought anything, Sage consumed more of my content, lead magnets and things like that. She engaged with something that I was asking about. Like, we're starting a conversation here, okay? Now, every new follower from an ad, well, let's just say an ad. I love the cup of coffee example. I would like $6 to $20 per day. If you are not working in a gym, if you do not have another type of network to tap into, then and you're not just going to rely on virality of content. You can't just wait around until your content goes viral. Then you need to create leverage for yourself. You need to create exposure for yourself. So then you will have people who become new followers. When they are in here, you want to outreach. You want to outreach to every single one, because remember, you want to help people, and those are people. So on first DM, that is when you have your question on content or problem. So Nathan might said, hey, are you looking to, work on your gut health? Are you looking, so whatever that thing is for you, it could be gut, it could be, whatever your, I would say, not niche, but like specific market problem is. It could be some female health related problem. It could be more generalized. You're asking in relation to that. Then you should get, the goal is to have, and just to give you some markers, a 25% response rate. Okay? If you got at least 25% responding, that's this good. Now, this DM thing right here, this was used on me by Dan Martell. Dan Martell is like one of Australia's leading business coaches. And I thought, I responded to it. And I thought, okay, he's doing something right. He got me. I know a lot of these strategies. And so I spoke with my business coach and this, that, and the other, and we spoke about it and we agreed that it would be good. Okay. So then, here is where you got what pieces you guys are missing. We want time on brand. You're trying to take someone from a DM and you're starting a conversation and you want to time on brand to build trust. You should be very curious how I've used such a small amount of followers to have created such a large amount of capital, aka money, right? How has Saad done that? Well, one way I've done that is because of this thing. And I'm not casting magical spells on people. I am creating connection, genuine, right? How? Well, people used to say, all right, you got to watch, God damn it, I got to watch like 30 to 100 pieces of content before someone's willing to buy something, right? And that would come in the form of like short form, like reels. Brothers and sisters, that takes a long time, doesn't it? So instead, when they respond, is Nathan still in here? Oh yeah, when they respond, relative to their problem, I want to send them some type of long form. Now, Jacob, shout out to you, Jacob, because you are starting to do a lot more long form content, right, on YouTube. So you're doing these documentary vlogs, which is great for personality and people getting to know you. Have you started doing any like value-driven stuff where it's like, here's me walking through a client's problem XYZ?
No, not yet.
Okay.
Just the lifestyle stuff for now.
You have a great personality. Like people like feel energetically connected to you. I know that because I know you really well. And so people will be able to feel that through long form. So what you want to do is, and this is not some well-produced like, oh my God, how am I going to make a long-form video? Guys, I just want you to sit down for the camera. Instead of doing a 60-second reel, you just turn the camera horizontal and you make it into 5, 10, 15 minutes. Okay? And then what do? And Kiara, you're in a beautiful position because you have content through me, through Trinity, for example, right? So we have 1-2 hour presentations. That's very fortunate that you're in that position. Now, whatever problem they have, let's say it's female health related, blah, blah, blah. I'll ask them, hey, and I always ask a do you want question. I know okay, let's say they respond with a problem and I'll say, do you or would you like, always ask permission. Don't just send shit. I've done that before and it's like unsolicited advice. It's like permission-based support. People are much more bought in. They say, hey, would you want me to send you something over to you to help with that? Sure. What do you send them? This. This should be like 5 to 20 minutes. Now, obviously, I have done lead magnets. You guys see my lead magnets online, right? You guys see that I'm sending masterclasses from Trinity. It's in-house content I'm already creating. And these things are 2 hours, obviously. Okay, so, but they have such a depth to them that after someone has watched 2 hours or 90 minutes or 1 hour of my content, they are so bought in. And what's happening then, and it's not 30 to 100 reels anymore. It's let's watch somewhere between, I'm still gathering data, but it's somewhere between like 1 to like 10 hours. If you want to get these guys in your DMs consuming at least 1 to 10 hours of content from you, and then at that point, they'll either be like, yeah, hell yeah, if they're getting up to 10 hours, like they're like a fan, like they're really resonating with you. And do you think they're more likely to buy from you or buy something to get some help from you? Of course they are. Now, if you're expecting all the effort you guys are putting into your reels, I commend it. Like keep doing it, except the ROI is much lower because shit, I mean, it's the 30 seconds, it's very sharp and very short. It's great for awareness and things like that. And what that will help with is starting the conversation to then send them the long form. Almost every single DM, I'm trying to funnel people, not to buy something from me, that's later, but to actually start a conversation to help them, to show them that I'm the motherfucking best at this shit. And that not just that's a bit of ego right there, but that I can genuinely help them and that I have solutions to their problems. So for you guys, action point from this conversation is every single follower, and you can do a copy paste template, is, hey, can you guys, actually forget it. Write a template for your question and you can save that template in Instagram. Hey, are you here for content or are you looking to work on XYZ? What did I say with stage? I said, are you here or looking to grow your business and skill set? Are you looking to, work on your gut health or, sports performance, etc.? Then one other thing that I haven't shown you about, what's more personal? Actually, what's a type of message you can send that really people feel? It's not a written message. Like, what's another type of message you can send that people can feel you? Let's see if that's general enough for you guys to answer. Exactly. You guys got it. Less fancy and creates a greater point of difference between you and your other coaches, voice or video. That's right. So what I'm actually doing is I'll send, and every now and again I'll do a video, but I'll send a voice message. Not typically, I don't always do it here unless I just intuitively am resonating with somebody. I'll either do it here or on the third message, which will be in response to, love all these colors. Here's the thing. And then that might be a voice message. Hey, so this thing is this, blah, blah, blah. Explaining what this is in a voice message. So now they can feel my energy. Now they can connect with me on a deeper level. So one thing you guys should be using a lot more of is voice messages. Because now you're not just another business and brand to them. Oh, he's a human being. Taylor's a real person. Taylor's a guy with a personality. Right? And they can feel your voice intonations, and trust is really developed a lot more through this. And if you feel particularly called to, you can even do a video, right? Which then just is the deepest level of it. So I can talk to you guys more about the specificity of this, but at least to start off with is, you all have at least 1,000 people in your ecosystem, at least starting with, who do you start with? Like if you had to start with somebody, who would it be? Well, it would be your most engaged audience. It would be exactly what Jacob said before, and that is people who engage with you. So that's the people who react. That's the people who comment. Definitely the people who comment. That's the people who get a lead magnet. Like DM this word to receive this. That's when you're starting a conversation. start with these people, then do it for every new follower, these guys will be less warm naturally, right? Consider that in your approach, right? You might not be as forthcoming in these guys. But these guys, who do they come from? They come from like your content. They come from someone tagging you, like word of mouth referrals. They come from tagging, word of mouth. Yeah. Just existing followers. I don't love that. It's a bit messy. Okay. I know I just spoke a lot. I still remember when you drew me a picture. What did I do, Kiara?
I'm trying to find it. I think it was some sort of thing. I don't know. I'm gonna find it.
In the DM, in your DMs when we were talking?
Mm.
Can you explain to people how we got to know each other from a conversation over a message?
Yeah, I think I DM'd you
Why?
because you posted something about female health, and I was like, I don't see dudes doing this. Then we spoke from there, and like, I was sold pretty quickly. Like, I was just ready to go.
Why?
So, I don't know. I think it was just right place, right time, I guess.
And what did
I need it. I'm
You
gonna
look it up?
find the. Yeah.
Kiara's also skipping part of the story, not on purpose, that I also got go ahead.
Yes. No, sorry. I just remember what you're referring to. Yeah, we spoke on the phone for like an hour.
And what time was it?
And he just called me. It was like 7 p.m. after like not that many messages transferred back and forth.
And do you remember how I kind of cued you to like get on a phone call? What message I might have sent? The question?
I can't remember because I think we were talking about like me becoming a PT.
Did I sell you anything?
Yeah.
Did you sign up for coaching on that call?
No. You just helped me.
I'm sorry, what was that?
You just helped me.
The ripple effect of one conversation can change the trajectory of your life. How would I have known at that first conversation many years ago? Just like, it's not convenient time. Like, I'm usually with family or, a partner at the time. Time to have dinner. No, it's 7:30. Do you want to? And I just asked her candidly. You guys don't really have to think about it too much. Like, everybody's scripting fucking everything. Just speak from here a little bit more. That's my sales now. Yeah. It's a crazy idea. And I said, hey, do you want some help? Do you want to just get on a call? And I did that. And Kiara spoke into it. She said, I was just trying to help her. Now, but look now where we are. You don't know how a single conversation can change the trajectory of someone's life. Vice versa. For me too. So you don't get the chance of that though if you don't shoot the ball. And I know it's a lot of shots sometimes, but Sage, for example, unless we have, and answer these questions for me if you don't mind. And this can be anybody. If you just want to grow online, there's a few things you have to consider. Actually, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me pause for a second. How do we feel about this? Is there any questions, follow-ups, doubts, uncertainties? Christian, you can watch. It's all good. What up, homie? That's a new 3.0 student right there. How does that sit, Sage? You can be honest.
Yeah, good. It's funny. I feel like there's so many different opinions about ads
Yep.
from different coaches. Like a lot of so I feel like half say like don't bother with ads if you don't already have like a good organic flow, I guess. And
Yeah.
then other coaches say that you should. So I've done it like probably like 4 years ago when I was like just a PT.
Yeah.
But I've never really done it since. So yeah, I'd definitely be keen to see how that works for me.
I agree. I'm not a, how do I say? Like, I don't really promote business owners using ads too much when they're early in their career, when they don't have a lot of experience creating content. So I understand that perspective. Go organic first. Ads is just a way to amplify your microphone. You're just getting a lot more awareness. But you can start with organic. Does anybody else have any thoughts or comments about that? Even you, Nathan, as well? We tweaked probably some of your process. How was that?
Yeah, it's going well. I just find, I was in my own way for way too long, and I was so scared to reach out to people. But like,
Yeah.
it's just like if you walk past someone on the street and you need to help them because you're a good person, you're just doing the exact same thing. Like, you have a skill that people want to learn more about, and they're following you for a reason. So just help them. Do you know what I mean? It's like at the end of the day, even if you never work with them, they're going to tell someone that you're a good person, and you might
Yeah.
get a client out of it that way. So it's all you're doing is helping people, and if you get in your own way, then there's no point of getting in your own way. You know what I mean? You're just doing your job, helping people, making the world a better place.
You're right. But how did you get out of your own way? Because I feel like that could help some people in here.
I think it was just it sort of was a fear of, I don't know why I was so scared of helping people, but it was just, I had another mentor and he just said, what are you doing? Like, you have people that want your help. They're following you for a reason. So just help them for free. And you feel good when you help people. Like when I go for a walk every morning, I voice message people for like half an hour straight. Like I just go through all my DMs, whoever I haven't replied to. Hey bro, how's it going? Yeah, it might be this, it might be that, it might be this. And then like 3 months later, they'll reply to a bit of content and be like, hey bro, I want to work with you now. So it's like, you're just like planting the seed, and over time you'll just help people. And some people they'll steal all your energy all the time, but it's like, you never know where it'll lead one day. So like some people will never work with you. They just want you for free. But at the end of the day, I don't mind, because it's like, I'm just going for a walk anyway. I may as well help someone.
What a great mentality.
It's like, that's simple. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
because it was like, I'd always make up a reason for why I shouldn't message someone, but they're following you for a reason. So just give them some help. You feel good for it. And if they say thank you, then you're like, oh, that was cool.
Oh, wow. Check the message out. Oh, my goodness. Whoa. When did I send you this? This before we called?
Yeah. I think it says it's 150 weeks ago.
Can you give some context to these diagrams that I wrote you? Wow. Okay. What was your objection?
My objection?
Yeah, because I wrote this in response to an obstacle. Starts coaching, and what can I even... Yeah, okay. You gave some type of obstacle.
I'll check. But I'm basically like a crazy lady for anything Nintendo. Like, I'm completely obsessed. So that hit the right spot. I'm wondering what I can even do if I'm not actually qualified in training people yet.
So, for some reason, I took the time to write this young girl, this young woman, on a piece of paper. It's funny it says Nutripath, because that's functional health right there. It's a functional medicine company that I'm a practitioner for. And I actually painted vision. And this is the example would be your client do it with you or do it without you. It's very related to Jacob, you know, what you're talking about. and I painted 2 different paths of the 2 different versions of Kiara. And I had made a diagram on Canva that showed people the cost of waiting if they didn't take action with initiative. And I showed people that coaching, the 12 weeks, if you click on the Mario diagram, that 12 weeks, that's an example of getting a coach. Doing it alone was the other one. All right, it's going to take you 5 years to get here, but you can take the Mario speed run instead if you want. I told a story with a picture. But I'm sitting there for an hour, like making this Canva diagrams. I'm like, okay, how do I get this point across to this person? And then I used it many times. And then that was on my website, the little Mario diagram, actually. What's the lesson here? Don't try and sell. Try and help. Not that selling is bad and not that making money is bad. It's actually really great because the more money you make, the more helpful you are to society. Yeah, that's right. I'm trying to give you guys permission to be like, hey, it's okay to reach out to people. Usually your life's going to be a lot better if you do. Any questions or thoughts there before I keep moving?
I think as well, because it's so different. Like, I've spoken to a few people in the DMs and they've had coaches reach out to them before, and it's all the same script.
Yeah. Tell me, what is it? What are you hearing?
Well, like people have said that coaches have reached out to them, and it's not the thing that gets them over the line, that gets them thinking about, they just feel it's another coach that just wants money, right?
Yeah.
They go instantly to, I'm being sold to here.
Yeah, defensive.
Whereas doing something like this is so different. Jumping on a call, can you create that point of difference where it's like, oh, this person actually cares?
Yeah.
Like, this person's actually spent a little bit of time and effort to help me out here.
Yeah.
Which is then going to create curiosity. Like who is this person?
Mm.
Maybe they'll start looking at your content a little bit more. Maybe they'll start talking about it. They'll start thinking about you more. And then they're in the back of you're in the back of their mind all the time. And then when they're actually ready for coaching, it's like, like that strength and Saad guy. That's the first guy I think of.
Yeah, that Bala coaching guy. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, like the Mario Kart, like no one does that. Like no one's doing that shit.
Yeah.
Or like just writing out and sending a photo on like just do something different so it breaks the normal, the standard.
Yeah. That's right.
There's no rules.
No. There's just being yourself and helping people. And that includes, I have made videos one-on-one for particular like prospects or like people in my ecosystem. Like I've made a video trying to help them, and then I'll make that into public content. Hey, I made this video for you. It's like, fuck, like 10, 15 minutes, 10, 20 minutes, an hour even to help somebody. But just remember, you chose to be a coach. Aren't you here to help people? Why don't you want to spend the time? Because they're not giving you money yet? Why should they? Why should you? I have to keep earning this. I have to keep showing up and giving everything I have and just within my heart and soul to you guys. Because it's continually, it's a continual process of building and retaining trust. Okay. Anybody else want to share?
I think as well, one thing I like that you said before was like you can't score if you can shoot, right?
That's a
And
bummer.
so if you think about you sending the DM versus not sending the DM, worst thing that's going to happen is the exact same as not sending the DM. Like
Right.
nothing comes from it.
Right.
And so you're increasing the likelihood of actually scoring or creating that opportunity just by sending that message. It's not guaranteed, but it doesn't happen if you don't shoot.
I like that, Sage. Can't wait to go DM some people. Yeah, can't wait to go help some people. Start some conversations. Get to know some people. Okay, let me show you guys now. All right, we have this outbound playbook, this strategy, right? Let me show you if you don't want to do it or you want to know other strategies. Okay, let me go back to my beautiful whiteboard that I'm happy is now working. All right. So we have, can you guys in the comments please tell me the most effective, actually, I'll do this first. Tell me where you've gotten your most clients from. So there will be, you will have organic. Whoa, that's a Q. I meant to write O. I'm getting an MRI soon. That's not a joke. Organic content. Then we have your gym. We have your network. We have that comes in the form of existing clients through word of mouth, and that comes in the form of strategic partnerships. And these are referral based. Actually, kind of content gym, and then we have. I'm going to put in a different color because it's paid media. And that's ads over here, which can change lives and has built businesses. All right. Georgia, for example, you just had with this one. What's a strategic partnership? That is, Danielle, and you had this. That is partnering with another group of people to offer something and get in front of many eyeballs. So the good thing, I'm going to try and draw an eye. Oh, that's pretty good. Give them some eyelashes. Nice. I'm happy with that. So, if I had to grow someone's business as quickly as possible, you want to grow. Come on. Don't do it to me. You guys can see behind the scenes. All right. Haha. I would pick this one. And if they had a lot of money, I would pick this one. But that's less relevant. Okay. I'll just get rid of this one. Now, I know not a lot of you have this one. So what can you do? You want to utilize your existing word of mouth referrals, which we have strategies in ZION for this. I can give you more support if you need, but we have this, okay? Most of you are not even asking. I have templates for you in ZION in the 30 days of how to ask for referrals. We have testimonials. I think I read one of you had a great testimonial recently. I think it was Sage. It was you after 1 year. You had a great testimonial, right? Like someone's really made some progress. Like that's an opportunity in person to record something. And then that is used as content. Simone, Trinity 2.0, she hasn't been as consistent with her content as we would have liked over this time, as I would have liked. But her saving grace recently is that one testimonial video, no, it wasn't even a video. It was a post. You can go on her page, Simone Pappas. She put one piece of content out on this and it got her 4 clients. I said, Simone, do that again. I have done this many times and you can see video, it's not just written. Video is by far the absolute best because it builds what? Bum, bum, bum.
Trust.
Thank you, Kiara. I trust you to answer very well. All right. We're written. It's very, it's like noise. Like it's harder for people to connect to it because it doesn't stimulate as much emotion always. Photos are second. Video is number one. Think about guys, if you knew the amount of money and time and energy that I spent on the Trinity testimonials, or like I've flown a client down to do a video testimonial with me. I paid for the flights because I wanted to celebrate her success. This was years ago. It was a gut client, right? I do unscalable shit and it's what I believe. It's inside of me. So I want to encourage you guys to do the same. So you want to use this. Again, this is in ZION testimonials video. Every client, guys, every client who gets a win, you guys, this should be high on your list. This should be high on your list to get a video testimonial. Kiara, you've even gotten some recently. Georgia, if we do an event again, which we will, what I would recommend is you get Lockie to film just ad hoc. It can be super natural. Hey girls, do you mind if we film just like, what did you think and feel about the event? That beautiful spontaneous moment, right? Magic will come from that. People will watch that back and they'll be like, I want to be a part of that. And it's spontaneous. It's not scripted. For every client who's gotten a win, you can do this on a coaching call and you can do this very naturally. You can say, hey, you can say, hey, so I just want to ask you some questions. You might spend like an extra 15 minutes here. You got another 15 minutes. I just want to ask you, like, what's your experience been like? What's been the biggest win? What's been the obstacle that you feel like we've overcome? I just want to do a little bit of reflection. And naturally, they're going to start to speak into creating a natural testimonial. And it's at the end of a coaching call. And you're just doing a bit of a reflection. So this doesn't have to be some hyper-scripted thing. You can just genuinely ask questions that give you feedback. And naturally, people are going to give you their most organic response. So another action task for all of you guys is to get a video testimonial. It can be live on a coaching call, remember? Okay? Record using OBS Studio or Google Meet would be my recommendation. And webcam. Put my pockets back. Okay. The gym, why? I mean, Ollie Jenkins, he's not here right now, but he's an example. I mean, there's so many. Ollie Jenkins is at George's gym. I have so many examples of coaches going from 0 to 20 to 30 clients in 6 to 12 months. Okay? In a good gym, that's possible. This is why it's so good, because you get a really big net. I'm going to draw a net. This is my net.
Can't see your thing again.
Oh, sad. Thank you for letting me know. You guys are just... My face. Let's go back to my beautiful diagrams. Picasso, Saad. You don't have a gym, you do have a gym, great. We can do a bunch of stuff there. You don't have a gym, you need to use your existing referrals. You need to ask every single client, and then you can give them, you can just go for the ask, and you can also say, use the voucher system and give that to each client to give to somebody else. And that then gets them on a coaching call with you, where you help them. And then you do the rest from there. Testimonial, that goes on social media, and that also goes into the onboarding process of a client that's in your ecosystem. So let's say someone's booked in a call with you. Well, every Trinity student and every client that books in a call with me, I send them my landing page, and that includes sending them videos on what I do. Because it's really hard for me to explain in 30 minutes to you it's going to be challenging for you to explain everything all in once in a 30-minute or a 20-minute or even an hour call. You got to do a lot at once. And I used to do that. Then I realized I could really compress that process through a better sales sequence, a better sequence where I'm sending them certain pieces of content. No, different color. Orange. You're going to send them, I call them testies. So this is from The call is here. Okay? And Nathan, you want to improve your sales process. You want to improve your sales percentage, I said. A lot of you probably do. Mine is very high. I don't know how to humbly say it, but it's like above 90%. And so I must be doing something right. Unless I'm casting spells on people. I may be casting spells on people. I can show you those spells later. They're part of a special Trinity program that I have. Okay. Testimonials in the form of video go the longest way. That builds trust. You want to do it specific to them. If they're female, probably send your female-related testimonials as close as possible to who the person is. Kiara, for example, has an amazing video Trinity testimonial. It's just like her telling a story. And I sent it to who? Gee, do you remember seeing that?
Yes, I did. I think you sent me a few actually.
Okay, this is
But
actually
Kiara's
good. And do you remember anything else I might have sent you during that time?
It's been a while actually. I don't remember specifically, but you sent me the testimonials, and then I think you also, like, similar to what you said before, you took the time to kind of send me like a full video more directed towards me. And like you did some stuff with my Instagram and like took me through some of those things as well. Like it was very personable.
And I had no idea whether you would buy anything or sign up for anything. But you said I made you a video?
Yeah, I remember you sent me like a video specifically. Yeah, like a YouTube link.
And how was that received?
Yeah, it was good. Like I wasn't expecting to get so much from you at that stage because we were talking and kind of going back and forth. For me though, I think it's a little bit similar to Sage. I just felt quite comfortable with you straight away.
Yeah.
And I can't remember sending you like some voice notes, and I was like crying on the voice notes.
Yeah,
I don't know.
That.
It was very comfortable, and for me, it was a feeling as well. So
beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah.
So thank you, Georgia. And what Georgia's describing is I'm sending her, I'm going to show you in a second. I made a video for her. I understood her problems and I made a video for her. So you want to send assets and solutions to their problem. And that could also be content that you've made. And if you don't have the content, it's okay. Don't overwhelm yourself with trying to make everything at once. Just start with one piece. Just make one new piece a week on something long form that you can do to help integrate into this process. So this is the sales process. This is to be able to help more people. You need to improve this process. If you're trying to do it all in this one call, which I used to do, it makes your life harder. So instead, I'm VMing, which, candidly, obviously I've done a lot with many of you. And there's a reason for it, because I want to get to know you better. And I don't expect you to want to buy something from me if you don't trust me. So voice messages are happening here. Then you're going to send them an asset, some type of long form, LF, long form, sending them content, sending them video testimonials. And then also, like, we haven't talked anything about what is the coaching you're offering. Nothing. Notice that? That does come in, but it's not the first thing we think about. It's, okay, what it is, it will typically go, like your VSL, for example, I'll typically be around here. Actually, I'll either put it here or I'll either put it here. This is your landing page. This is like what you do, okay? So now you have this sandwich of like 3 to 4 pieces of content, and this might be over a 1 week period. Then by the time they get here, hey, how did you feel about, all the things I was sending you? And usually it'll be quite positive. I know I'm throwing a lot at you guys. I'm mindful of that. Something you can watch back. I can send some summary notes if that would be helpful. Let's take a second there. How are we sitting with that? We've talked about video testimonials being the action point, and we're talking about a voucher system. Again, that's in ZION. This is in ZION, right? This is right there for you, templates. Video testimonials, using that as content up here. Changing all of this applies to all of you. Improving your process. Look, you might not have everything here at once. Again, just start with one. Can you start with some voice messages and maybe make a personalized video for them? Yeah. The last part is, do you know somebody rich and famous? Does anybody know? I mean, it's kind of, seriously though, does anybody know somebody who has eyeballs, influence, and access? What does access mean? Like access to a particular community of like-minded people who are in your market. Let's see. Sage, do you know anybody? Nathan, do you know anybody? Someone could have like 10, 20,000 followers, just a friend of yours. Doesn't even have to be too crazy. Somebody who owns a business that's quite successful. Maybe it's a client of yours. Okay, Branson. Great. A friend, like a close enough friend to maybe make some content together or collaborate?
Maybe. She lives in Queensland though, so we don't live in the same state. But yeah, potentially. She's done a masterclass for my clients. But yeah, that's really good fun.
1 second, Nathan. I'm just going to mute you for a second. I'll let you speak. What about a live masterclass together? Is that something that potentially you could float a conversation by to help some women?
Yeah, for sure. I feel like she'd definitely be up for that.
So all you have to do, Sage, is like, you don't have to like commit to like doing a whole masterclass right now, right? We're just starting a conversation. Say, hey girl, I was talking to blah, blah, and I had this idea. Would you be down to maybe run a masterclass together? And just see what she says. Now, that, Sage, like, okay, just give you examples. Me doing that, I'm about to do that with Reese. I've done that with Ben Kent. I've done that with Dave. I've done that with Charlie O'Halloran, the gut health guy. There are people in my ecosystem that I coach that have, decent followings and things like that, and a well-respected audience. And so I'll collaborate together with them because we can go further together. And that's one way that you can really increase your access, because some of you are in a position where a lot of you are in a position where you just don't have many eyeballs. And this one is free. This utilizes your network. This can really be impactful if you know the right people. Like Taylor, 1.3 milli. Like, yeah, that's something we could talk about. I mean, we're already doing strategies right now that are working, but look, that's something that we could talk through. Nathan, speak on what you were going to say.
Yo, I was just going to say, I studied with a few females that were working with influencers, and they would do like videos together of the full onboarding process, results from blood work, supplement protocols to go through what they're doing for what. And that brought in so much business for them, because people want to, like, they get attracted to the story and love following that along.
Can you share that in the messages, like a link to what that actually looks like?
Yeah, for sure. I'll send you her page now.
By the way, a little tip: you don't have to pull the microphone up to your mouth.
It's just habit.
I say that because I don't know if you realize, every time it makes a scuffing sound.
Yeah.
Just in case you're doing that with clients, thought I would tell you.
No, I'm never outside. I'm in the office when I'm with clients.
All right, cool. So, strategic partnerships, action point. So for those of you, just write a list of 1 to 2 people that you could collaborate with. Obviously, like Georgia and Danielle, y'all are doing something. That's cool. You're doing it with Thrive. Like, how was that? Like, Danielle's telling me she's getting all these messages from people. Like, how was that for you?
Yeah, I sort of actually had envisioned doing something with Thrive for a long time. And I kind of knew it would come about, but it just took a while to get there. And then the fact that I got to do it not only like with Thrive, but I also got to do it with Danielle and like have a partnership with that. Yeah, it was unreal. It was really cool. It was probably one of the best things I've done in a long time. And one of the best things I actually felt connected in that practice. So I've done breathwork for a long time, but I have done it in that sort of way. And I just felt a lot more connected to it. So it was really cool.
That's beautiful. And have you been having any conversations with some of the attendees?
Yeah, absolutely. I've seen a lot of them at Hustler, actually. Quite a few of them have come in. And then similar to what you were talking about with voice notes, I messaged quite a few of them that had added me on Instagram and seen me through that. And I just started sending voice notes and replying to what they were telling me and talking to me about, and just kind of keeping that conversation going as well.
It's great. And then eventually, they're much more likely to want to hire you for something because you've developed that depth of connection. You guys got to realize it can take some time. Check this out. Again, record all your check-ins, record everything you do. This is a little library. So you see, Georgia Richardson, social media analysis, 13th of January. It's part of before I spoke to Georgia on the phone, I realized that I wanted to help her, but also I realized that, okay, I wanted to send her something to show her what she can expect. Let's have a look. Currently sharing your screen. I need to do my tab so you can see it. No one else has seen this besides Georgia and I. So you guys will get an understanding of what you can send over to clients. Share audio, share tab instead. Second. That's okay.
Hello, Georgia. So I'm making this video.
What am I saying?
Hello, Georgia. So I'm making this video for you to do a social media analysis of your business. And why I'm doing that before our call is because I believe that I have to walk the walk in many capacities, in many ways, and that includes demonstrating what goodwill looks like without the expectation of something in return. And also so you can get a taste of what it would be like to have me in your corner, just a taste, a 1% of what it would like, of the type of way I communicate, the feedback I give, the opportunities that I see, the obstacles, the challenges, get a feel for me and what it may look like to be under my guidance. So you can make an informed decision about whether that's something you actually genuinely want to do. And so why would I take my time to do this? One, selfishly, because I know I have to give enough goodwill for you to have the information and the insight to make an informed decision whether Trinity is something you apply for and go through that process. And two, I need to see whether you can action and receive this and whether you're even going to watch a 20-something minute video. Because if you get to that call and you don't watch it, then that's telling to me and that gives me feedback. It's like, okay, I'm glad I didn't take that further with that person because they weren't engaged. And three, because if Trinity is something that eventually, inevitably, that you end up applying for and getting accepted into, we're going to do this anyway. So those are some reasons why I'm doing it. I believe I should be transparent about it. I want to be. And let's begin. So I'm going to analyze your social media, give you some feedback because you said your biggest goals is to create a business that helps hundreds of people, utilizing a combination of fitness, nutrition, mindset, 6-7 figures, podcasts. You want to step into pretty meaningful, big, impactful authority figure. That definitely requires a lot of strategic input to create that level of output that you're desiring. And you need to have a lot of the pieces of your boat, of your business in place. And looking at your social media, there are some big opportunities here to refine and change some things. There are
Okay. George, are you okay if I share that video with the guys here? Cool. I'll share the whole thing with you guys. There's the link. Okay, I don't mind. What do you guys think about that first 1-2 minutes of that? Comments. Oh, thank you, Jacob. Right. Well, I guess let's ask the woman who received it. You already felt connected to me, but how did you feel in those first 2 minutes? Just me being genuinely transparent with you.
Yeah, I really appreciate more the direct, transparent approach. I don't really like when someone comes at me and they're very salesy, they just kind of seem like they're about money and trying to sign me on, which I didn't feel that with you.
Yeah.
And I knew that I have areas that I needed to improve on. And so I'd rather someone tell me directly than beat around the bush and sort of coddle me, if that makes sense, because that's not going to get me anywhere. So yeah, I actually really appreciate the direct approach for sure.
Okay. Now we're here. That's cool.
Yeah.
So, Nathan, you talked about sales being all of you can improve your sales. Would you all be open to trying something like that? AKA sending them something personalized. It doesn't have to be a 34-minute video. Maybe you could send them a part solution to the problem they're working with. So I was thinking about your problem, and I wanted to show you a case study of actually, a client of mine, Jacinta. Jacinta had a similar gut problem to you. Here's some things that we did. I just want to show you this. So if you do end up wanting to work with me and get some support with me, here's what the next 12 months can look like. I don't know if you notice the things I'm doing. Painting vision, I'm not talking short term, 12 months. I'm using a case study of someone that sounds like her. I'm showing sharing my screen, showing videos and photos, showing a part solution. Here's some things that we could change. Here's some things that we could do. So any inquiry call that you get, or even any DM you get where the person has a problem, you can send them an already pre-made asset to a common problem. That's easy, or simple, I should say. And then once they are further along in that process, if their problem is a little bit more specific, or just in general, once they have booked an inquiry call with you, to basically almost guarantee that the person will want to work with you, show them. Don't tell them. You don't need to convince with words. You show people through demonstration that you are who you say you are, and you are someone who's good at what you do and are trustworthy. And fuck it, you show that you care. You show that you care. Yeah. Steal it. Steal everything, Jacob. Let me know how it goes. You guys can unmute if you want to share anything.
I think it just comes back to at the end of the day, if you actually want to grow your business, if you actually want to help people, it's doing the work, putting the effort in. It's we want to grow our businesses, but we're not willing to create a 30-minute video that's going to take things to the next level. We're not willing to jump on a call at 7 p.m. with a random stranger just to help them out. But we want this 6-7 figure business. And it's that doesn't happen without the cost of those other little things that we're not willing to do. So it's a little bit, wrong of us to think that we deserve the outcome.
100%, brother. Why do you think that is? Why do you think there's that disconnect? Or maybe...
Well, If you can compare it to life and many things that we have in our life, it's that instant gratification. We think that little effort for maximum reward. As soon as you can delay that gratification and do the hard work without receiving any reward, and do that in smaller areas of your life, that will then potentially apply to larger areas like coaching, where you're doing bigger things without being rewarded, which is ultimately going to lead to something greater. Like a great little one is like, and I see it all the time in public. As soon as someone is bored or uncomfortable, the first thing they do is go to their pocket and pick that the phone up.
Mm-hmm.
Right away, instant gratification.
And what's the equivalent in business, in your experience and what you've seen, that you think the group might resonate?
Even just, for example, the work that you do, you have to be paid for it. Otherwise, I'm not going to do it. And it's like, how much work can you do without being paid for it? But to go further, how much money can you actually then put in without reaping the benefits straight away? Because then you're at a potential loss in that situation, but you're trusting the process of it.
I think that's a really mature response. And have a think about, if Alexander and Saad is doing this still now, and I got a lot of social proof at this point. I got a lot of skin in the game. I got quite a bit of an authority, right? If I'm doing this, I mean, don't you think you guys would need to as well? And I have all the other things already going for me. So the exciting thing is, this works. But I can't make you guys truly care and like come from here. That's up to you guys, how you show up there. Like scaling the unscalable, like doing the dirty work that other people aren't willing to do because you want to help people. So speaking of, even though we're at time, I'm right here with you guys. If you guys want to get more out of me, get more support, individualized, I'm right here. You guys can shoot. If there's anything that we didn't capture from the forms you fill it out, which there always will be, or if there's anything in particular that wasn't covered, unclear, uncertain, doubtful, just be completely honest, hit me or the group with anything you're encountering.
I'm just wondering about my offer that I'm doing at the moment.
Yes.
The 30
Yeah,
days for free.
Yep.
Yeah. I feel like it's not really working anymore.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I should drop it and try something else.
Yep.
Yeah. Like, what would be your opinion? Like, should I try like a different kind of lead magnet in terms of like a free, I don't know, like a PDF or masterclass or something like that instead? Or
Anytime,
I guess I know you did message like the giveaway thing too.
anytime someone, let's just explain what's happening. So Sage has been doing a DM for 30 days free coaching. It's great. It speaks on to what we're talking about here with helping people for free. But when people see the same billboard over and over again, it can start to become numb, right? So it's not that the offer is bad. It's that just when something is, sometimes when something is repeated over and over again, people can become indifferent to it. So what I would do is I'd take that away. Yes, for now. You can unpin it's only 2 weeks ago. You can take it out of your bio, and what you can do instead is offer that in the DMs when you're called to. Or if someone's on a live inquiry call with you and they're a bit hesitant and they don't know if it's going to work for them, that's an opportune time to say, hey, look, and that's when you can offer obviously your money back guarantee, or if you don't make progress, we'll continue to coach you for free. And that's also when you can offer, look, just you want to just try it before you buy it. Like, and I wouldn't do 30. I'd actually drop that down a bit. I'd go 21. Somewhere between 14 to 21.
Would you say to take out the CTA from my previous posts or keep it there?
No.
Because
You
on
don't,
like every single post I have, it still says that.
no, it's fine.
Okay. And then in my bio, what would you say I should do for my CTA instead?
Let's share a screen so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Right. Well, I want you to think about from your position, your position as a coach, and also from their position. So what's the purpose of this? What's the purpose of having some type of call to action? Well, we want to start a conversation, or we want to give them something that's valuable. Okay. Do you have, what is the most valuable tool or asset or video or piece of content or something that you have accessible to you, or you could create that your market, that solves a pain point in your market?
I've got a few different PDFs, but I've trialed them in the past and they haven't really done that well. Like one was on fat loss, and then another was on like binge eating. I've done like holiday specific ones like Christmas time and stuff like that, and that tends to do like pretty well, but obviously it's not really a holiday at the moment. Yeah, and a few years ago I did like an actual masterclass, and that did okay.
What's been the best performing thing?
I'd probably say the masterclass a few years ago, yeah.
And how did it perform?
I think I got a couple of clients from it. It was so long ago, I kind of don't remember, but yeah, I feel like the PDFs don't really work as well.
I'm seeing the same thing. PDFs are becoming quite drowned out.
Yeah.
Also, I noticed there's no link in your bio.
Yeah, I know. I don't actually have a link. It's like, yeah, my CTA is just DM. Because I don't have a website or anything. I do have my landing page, which I've been working on. But since we had that chat about like changing my like niche, I guess, to be more holistic rather than just fat loss, I'm like trying to redo it all.
So do you have the recorded masterclass?
From a few years ago?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Okay.
It was like, yeah, quite a long time ago.
All right. So one thing that's very big piece that's missing is a link. You know, so you can drive people to an action. I mean, DMs are great. That's where a lot of meaningful conversations are had and where people can make a lot of money. But there's still no opportunity for me to get to know you a little bit more. So where I would send that to, just one of the places you can send people to is a very simple landing page. And if you ever need inspiration, look at people who are doing what you want to do. Like, are there any female health leaders that you look up to that you're like, oh, I would love to do what she's doing?
Yeah, there's a couple. Even my friend that I mentioned before, who has quite a few followers, like she's just killing it. So yeah.
So let's also study what's working. What's her name?
Sim, so it's SIM and then _ Sullivan.
Okay. It's going to be more relatable if I show you somebody who you look up to. All right. We find guaranteed answer to optimize your health via blood work. Cool. That's a point of difference. Those aren't telling me much. Okay. Let me click the link because if people want to buy from you, they will want to click on something to get started. She has testimonials. She has a case study. something personal. Beautiful. I click here. Now she's, what is this? A main call to action is this. This is the Instagram bio. I would remove that unless she's making a lot of money from their free symptom checklist. Cool, free guide. Great. Too many though. Too many. So she's mainly driving to this. Click on this. All right. So now it's a landing page. And Sage and all of you, you don't have to make it in a website. Websites can be really time consuming to create and costly sometimes. You could really start off with a Notion page.
Okay.
I have Emile, he's a gym owner in Quebec, my mentor. I don't know why this is happening. It's very strange. And he'd done his whole landing page now on Notion, and he has a gym full of like 70, 80 members. So,
wow, okay.
Yeah, the idea of having to do this in some type of like website is no, we don't have to. There are other ways to do it.
Yeah.
So lowering the barrier for you, we have a landing page, and that explains, well, I got a basic template in Zion that explains how you can set it up. That's where you put your VSL, social proof, testimonials, who you serve, what you have to offer, etc.
Yep.
Okay, here's a VSL. Cool. All right. Pay with Afterpay, great option. So one thing we want to do for Sage, for Georgia, is we want to create your version of this and put that on your list. And then in that, I would create an opportunity for people to try before you buy. Want to try before you buy? 14-day free trial with a money-back guarantee that if you don't make an improvement in XYZ period of time, we will continue to coach you for free. When you don't have a lot of leverage, you want to stack the cards in your favor by giving yourself more leverage, and that's through guarantees, and that's through allowing people to start the process with you of coaching and getting a taste of what you do without putting risk down, money.
Okay, amazing. And on the landing page, do you suggest like to list what my prices are? I feel like it's so like some people say not to, and then some people say to do it.
Yeah, I do. And I could just leave it there. Do you want me to explain? Enough?
Yeah, can you explain, please?
Of course. Some people just want the answer, some people want the explanation. Okay, so the reason I do is because, actually I'll ask you, when you've engaged in services that you don't know, have you ever like looked up a price of something and like, I want to know how much this costs, this coach, this, that, and the other, and the price hasn't been listed? How have you felt or thought?
When they have been listed?
Haven't.
Or haven't? That it's annoying and I just want to know what it is, and I don't want to have to get on a call to know what it is.
You don't want to have to be sold and convinced and persuaded and manipulated?
Yeah.
There's your answer.
Okay, thank you. That makes sense. Great. Yeah, I did that with Race, like Livingston. I like didn't know what his prices were, and then had a call with who's his assistant or his sales guy.
Yeah, I know him. Yeah.
Yeah, and then he told me the price, and I was like, no man, I can't afford that.
Yeah.
So yeah, prices definitely help.
For high ticket programs like that, I can understand. For coaching, we're fine.
Yeah. Okay. Amazing. Thank you. That makes a lot of sense.
Then
perfect. I feel like I have a lot to work on, which is
yeah. Hopefully, I mean, it's okay if it's a little bit like, there's a bit here. It's okay. Normal.
Yeah.
But also exciting because there's opportunity on the table.
Yeah.
And the call to action would be right now, would be just driving people to look at your landing page while we figure out a more strategic, maybe lead magnet or something like that.
Okay.
Right now, I'll just drive them to the landing page to find out more about what you do.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Well,
All right.
yeah, that's all my questions. So
Beautiful. I will get back to your voice message when I can. And
Oh.
for now,
no stress.
have a beautiful week.
Thank
Kiara,
you.
hello,
Thank you.
goodbye, love to you all, and anybody watching this back, peace.